Hey everyone, I'm Isabel Madison and welcome to our makeup chair. Today we have Spencer Barnes here, who's a dear friend of mine, an extraordinary makeup artist. And I've known him for years and years and years, and I have this very special connection with him. We have a very special bond as well. And we're going to be talking about everything.
Well, I'm excited to be here. Thank you so much for having me. It's truly an honor and a privilege. And we have had some incredible adventures, often dealing with beauty, but lifestyle, with self-improvement, with all the things that make life rich and wonderful. And I don't know if people know that side of you as much. You know, they see us through either our brands or artistry, but there's this other side of life that is so fun to explore as well that makes it so meaningful and rich. So thank you for having me.
You're just so talented. I want you to share it with us. Like, what makes a person beautiful? When you're putting makeup on them, what makes them beautiful?
Makeup is such a wonderful tool of self-expression and creativity. And for me, it really started as a form of artistry, of exploring storytelling through the visual realms. You know, growing up in Utah, it was like I was always hungry for something more than the mundane every day. And I loved finding interesting stories. So as a youth, even as early as like 13 or 14, I was reading a lot of biographies, a lot of self-improvement books, and I would watch a lot of old Hollywood stuff, foreign film even. I loved like exotic locations and people that lived life with a certain flair or an attitude that left an imprint and changed the way people see the world. Beauty became one more vehicle for me to help a lot of actresses, but a lot of actors too. But first, myself as a young actor, it was a tool to explore character, and I just loved it. It was never about beauty initially. Surprisingly,
did you actually like play with makeup when you were a teenager, or put it on, or explore as?
That's a great question. I did a lot. But it wasn't the way most people would think. My mom had a friend from college for his senior project. It was one of his classes. He took a makeup class. He had to do this medical makeup exam and basically create realistic looking wounds, like bones protruding out of the skin, things that would happen if there was some kind of a cataclysmic event. So the students would recreate these medical makeup kind of scenarios. And when I saw his work, it was so realistic. For whatever reason, she thought it would be good to take me. I was just blown away that it wasn't real. And I wanted to understand how he made it look so real.
So it's almost theatrical.
For sure. Right. It was always theatrical. It started out very theatrical.
Okay,
I loved Halloween.
Beauty. Right. Okay.
Yeah, I didn't really know what beauty was. I mean, I love the allure of Hollywood, but it was always like based on storytelling. Yeah, art and transporting me to some other place and time, or telling a story that made something come alive. To me, I don't know why, I was just so drawn to things like Halloween and character makeup.
That's definitely a transformation. I think I look at myself every morning in the mirror and I'm like, I'm going to transform myself. I'm going to make myself someone else. It's my little mini Halloween every single morning. Who do I want to be today?
One of the things that I love about your line, Nude Envy, is most people think of makeup as, the more colors, the more products, the more they can do. But you have fashioned a line so expertly and with such nuance and grace. It's all these neutrals, which for me, that's where you get the most natural, but also the most glamorous looking makeup, because you're working with tones that you learn to flatter the natural colors of a person or complement or contrast them. And that's what you've achieved, I think, is some of the most beautiful, like essential neutrals, lip tones, lip line, everything, the eyeshadows, the nail polish, the way that they all just glow up the skin. And that's something that I love about you, is you have this effortless glamour that
I try to make them very neutral, but they needed to be happy and like a little pop of whatever, like you were flushed on the cheeks because you're so excited, or whatever it is that makes us naturally look happy and healthy. So the color that I put in there was in the pinks, or the like really pretty, as natural and neutral as they are, or like a little highlight. But yeah, it is very transformative. Makeup is so much fun. As women, we get to play and change our looks, change our mood. I mean, honestly, every single morning I look and I can change the way I feel for the rest of the day based on what I put on my face and how I play with it. And it's so much fun.
I realized at a certain age, so many of my favorite stars were women. And I was like, wait a minute, I know there's amazing
Who was your favorite
male actors. I don't know, like at 14, I was reading Barbara Streisand's documentary book that came out. Her name is Barbara. I loved Audrey Hepburn, Marilyn Monroe, Elizabeth Taylor, so many of the classic female icons. There were a lot of women, but I was like, I know there are powerful male actors. So I kind of went on this like rampage when I was about 16, 17. I was like, I want to find all these male stars and find out their story and what made them. Why did people love them? What was it about their body of work or career that was so riveting? And and I actually found there were so many amazing male performers that I was drawn to. Like when I was about 18 or 19, I did airbrush makeup. I learned airbrush really young. For politicians and religious leaders, men who were old, who were in the public eye, who were in the media. And I got kind of nabbed up as someone who can do this thing and make them look just their best without looking like they had anything on. And that really gave me an idea about how image and storytelling, personal storytelling, the way we present ourselves, how much it can influence and invite people into a world or a story or affect the way people see someone that might otherwise be different.
And then the way they see us is the way they treat us.
Yes.
And the way they treat us is how we feel. And when we feel a certain way is how we go about the world and take charge or not, or everything goes further.
That's a certain level of magic not very many people have on a daily basis. And, it wouldn't be totally realistic for everyone to wake up and have a makeup artist and hair person get them ready every day, although we would probably all love it. But
definitely not.
I recognize that's a place that exists kind of in a fantasy world in Hollywood, but it still held magic because it was the stories and the real people behind these larger than life characters that moved me the most. I saw my art as an extension as a tool of helping people define and nuance their story in a way that made them accessible to others. I recognize that there's archetypes.
So when you're putting makeup on someone, what's your favorite color of eyeshadow to start? Let's start with the eyes and go down the face.
Neutrals are where, just like a pencil drawing, when you think of like a black and white pencil drawing, if I were going to paint you using oil paints, let's say, something like a landscape or a beautiful still life, I would first work with charcoal on canvas or on paper with pencil and graphite. And I would kind of create the structure. So I look at makeup as that kind of tool. I work with neutrals and I look at a person's face, a woman's face, and I examine her features, her brows, her lips, her eyes.
So a neutral would be a brown.
Yeah.
My favorite.
Like a taupey brown.
So I'm going to put that in your mouth, a brown.
She has warmer skin, a little deeper skin tone. Like you have this gorgeous, you're like forever this.
Oh my God, stop.
Sun goddess. You always, like, if I could have your skin tone brown, I'd be in heaven.
I'm olive. Like, I love your skin tone.
So it's
brown to
like
me,
working with neutrals, whether they're soft, warmer browns, cooler browns. Some like on the fair skin people I work with more like really subtle, almost like taupey, like a grayish brown. And I start structuring the face more,
I have
more
to
lifted.
say, as I'm getting a little older, I don't like harsh lines. I like it to be really soft and like brushed in and messy a little bit, not too straight, not too angular. And then sometimes, like if something's going on in my life and I'll lose a couple pounds, I'm like, okay, we got to go like, so when I put my blush on now, I'll go in circles instead of like this. I'm like, we got to make it rounder. So every day I'm like, not only transforming, but trying to accommodate my own needs, my own physical, psychological, whatever it is that is going on will affect how I put my makeup on that morning, the next morning. And it's kind of interesting to teach, to learn first, and then to teach to women, okay, this is what you should do and what you shouldn't do. So on the cheeks, what's your favorite? What do you like to do on the cheeks?
On the cheeks, I love a creamy, slightly glowy kind of finish, a look of aliveness. For people that have lighter eyes, I love a bit of that peachy tone. Some of the gorgeous pinks and soft bronzy kind of plums that can work great with richer tones. There's so many ways you can work with cheek color, but ultimately placement can have a lot. Like you can put cheek color up here and it has a different effect than if it's on the apple.
Yeah.
Or you can really focus on like a more angular face and it will feel very different than if it's, here or there. So it's all about the story you're telling and the balance that you're creating with the rest of the other products. Yeah. I want to tell a story about when I first met you. Okay.
I remember that night.
It was one of those nights where there's certain people when you meet, you're just like, who are you and where did you come from? And I knew that significant things would come from you and through you. So we have a mutual friend, Brooke Burke, that introduced us. And
first of all, she talked so highly of you. She's like, you have to meet him. He's like angelic. And he's just got this aura about him. And he's so handsome and he's so great. And he's such a great makeup artist because you were doing her makeup back then. And I'm like, who is this person? I have to meet him. Could you please introduce us? This was like 10 years ago.
It really was. And I met you at a restaurant and you had brought some of your first products.
We went to Wally's. I think we went to
Yeah. And you showed me your sneak peek collection. And I was like, wow. I really was. And I'm picky with product. I was like, you know what? This woman has a rare aesthetic gift. Not only does she understand, like most people can't see color. Like if you can't match a foundation to any face, if you only do something similar to your face, you really aren't an artist. If you can match and pull out the best undertones in someone, you've got the eye for color. And your colors were like, it wasn't just pink or nude or peach. There's a million of those. It always had these undertones and these rich subtleties that made them special. And each of them, even though they looked similar, they were quite different.
You're so different.
And that's how they are. And her natural eye is so attuned to what looks great on skin. And I'm just going to say 3 things that you did so well right off the bat was the color selection and nuance, the pigment ratio, and the way that it felt on the skin and performed. The performance in every product was like, yes, this is the way I want a lip liner to feel. Yes, this is the way I want a shadow to blend. Yes, this is how a lip should feel and smell without looking waxy or dead or cheap. You always had that.
You. Noticing and seeing it and saying that.
You would do 10 or 11 versions. It wasn't like,
no, they threw me out of every single lab. They're like, lady, get
you're
out.
Crazy.
You're too picky. Like, this doesn't exist. No one can do this. No one's ever done this. I'm like, that doesn't make sense to me. I didn't hear what you just said. Like, move, let's keep going.
If you want to find a line of products that is universally wearable and has the most unique and subtle differences between all the shades, you have to check out Nude Omdi. And I'm not just saying this because you're my friend. It really is a rare gem. And most people don't know that the best way to work with beauty is working with neutral tones.
Yeah.
Because neutrals look natural, but don't be fooled. If the undertones are working with, because they're neutral, they're working well.
These are, I hope, this is what I did. They're buildable, they're pliable. You can blend everything, mix them, change them. The lip pencils that I just launched when was it? I don't even know. Last year, I think, the darker ones. I'm like, they're coloring pencils. They can color your lipstick, not just your lips, and change the tone of your lipstick. So if they're too light for you, then you make them darker. But if you want to go lighter, you go. So it's just so easy to play with all of them and mix everything. And that was super important.
Yeah, you've nailed something very critical with application is the ability to use your own preference to nuance them and mix and layer and build or melt them together in a way that it looks seamless.
I'm my own guinea pig. And then I'm always putting, even the ones I don't like, I have to wear it so much so I figure out why I don't like it. So it doesn't get repeated. And so it doesn't go into production. I'll never produce something I don't love or die for, because my motto was in the very beginning when I started, of course, you're going to be afraid of what if no one picks it up, and what if no one wants it or they don't buy it. And I thought to myself, you know what? If they don't, I'm just going to have it all for the rest of my life. I'm going to have lipsticks that I love, and I'm going to give it away to friends, and I'm going to give it to people that I love, and I'm going to share it and tell people why it's so beautiful. But if they don't buy it, they don't buy it. What can I do? And I got so lucky because Barney's picked it up right away. I felt like the whole world was given to me. I was so happy. Barney's was like the best place on earth.
I mean,
The best
it's a
place
dream.
for me. Yeah.
And still, I've worked with so many brands and known many brands and people and associates that have wanted to get their brands into some kind of brick and mortar, or even Sephora, and they just can't. So the fact that you out of the gate launched something, they saw in you and in what you presented something unique enough and special enough to have in a store like Barney's, and it's lived up to that. And you're still in these top doors.
The same colors are still like, everyone's still buying the same colors. They're like so timeless.
They're better than any other basic.
And they're getting discovered.
They're so good.
They're good. The lipsticks are amazing.
Yeah.
It just feels good.
It's like a balm and a
all
lipstick.
The time, 'cause it feels good.
It's creamy. They smell good. They smell like, kind of like, I don't know. It's like this vanilla
cake. Yeah.
It's so yummy. It's kissably yummy.
I want to know, when you walk into a home, I know you do it for yourself and friends and close people and people that actually drag you into it because you're so good they can't live without you. But when you walk into a home, what do you think? Do you ever walk into someone's home and say, oh my God, where am I? Like, this person needs help. Let me dig in.
I like to explore a space for its bones right away. I go, what is the potential here? What is the story? Whose space is this? What will it be used for? How could it be enhanced? And I worked for this guy, this super talented designer. He was dyslexic, so he wasn't able to finish his architecture school. He taught me how to see architecture and how to see a space, not just for what it was, because I think before that I just saw it as like a blank room, almost like a canvas to decorate. But he taught me how to see through the bones and go, I could move this wall up. I need to see how the light's going to enter in and hit this space and how it will play through the different times of day. And that really informed a lot of how I learned to see a space. So Isabel, tell me, who has been like a creative mentor or inspiration for you that's kind of served as an anchor to your career path?
I always thought so highly of, and I still do, Diane von Furstenberg. Mm-hmm. I thought she's just so like strong and powerful in what she created, and she's beautiful. Something about her is just magic. She's powerful.
Love that. I remember when her first store here in LA went in on Melrose Place, right behind Kate Somerville.
Oh, yeah.
Which I was working with her a lot at the time, but that store was like, it was special. It was like, wow. It gave a certain solidity to Melrose Place. And then Marc Jacobs came in. And then it was like, she was the first. Then Alexander McQueen came in, then Helmut Lang. It was like a whole new kind of fashion movement into the Melrose Place district once there were a few of these anchors, and she was the first.
Something about her, she's just full of power.
Yeah.
I love her.
Love a strong woman.
Yeah. What is a hidden talent or hobby that most people don't even know about you?
That I like to sing.
Yeah, I haven't even heard you sing. That is hidden. It's a very hidden.
I'm really hard on myself. I'm really picky and I'm a perfectionist, and I'm learning that it's better to just like go authentically and feel perfection is kind of like that game that we play.
It's too hard.
That keeps us in a box, unfinished. And I'm learning to just let that go and get to a point where I'm happy enough with it. And it's not about fans or, how I measure up. It's like, if I enjoyed it and I felt like that was authentic, that's enough.
So I think you just have to take the fear out of it. Like, what's the fear factor? Okay, so if I perform, for instance, in front of 20 people that I know at my friend's like holiday party, what's the worst thing that can happen?
Yeah, but when I think of any time I've heard someone, even if they were moderate talent, there's something so special about seeing them take the courage to like step into that and perform, that I just sit there and I'm like kind of awestruck. And when they're really good, it's even more, it's like, wow.
Or when they become better the next time they show up.
Yeah.
Like, there's something to be said about the progression and the progress and the effort they put into it to become better, and people notice it.
What's one thing that if you could have your younger self tell you, it would be?
There was a period in my life where I worried a lot and I got scared that it wouldn't be perfect, back to your saying, and it wasn't perfect. Everything needed to be perfect. And I think I would tell my younger self, so what? So freaking what if it's not perfect? If you're not perfect, just do it. And I did learn this eventually. Just take those steps. But I learned the hard way. I learned the hard way, and I'm so glad I did.
You really do things with a level of perfection that is, I think, probably to some intimidating. Not that they're trying to measure up, but it is wonderful to know people that do things to such a level that it's magic, and you've crossed that. It's like when you watch an Olympian do like some gymnastics floor routine or an ice skating or a downhill ski, whatever it is, when they're so fluid that it looks effortless and easy. It's mesmerizing, and you actually have that with a lot of the things you're really great at. And
Thank you.
but I think you're right. Having the courage to go, it doesn't have to be perfect. It has to be real and authentic. And it's going to feel better if I just have fun doing it than worrying about who may or may not be judging me and all the voices in my head.
I had to do it consciously and not be perfect for like a good year on purpose to get out of that habit. I was like, I don't want to be perfect anymore. I don't want to go through the effort and to the stress and the pain to make sure I'm perfect. Stop it. I actually did it on purpose.
Self-editing.
Yes.
That's a really...
I did on purpose. And then I honed it back in or fixed it and balanced it to the point where I felt, okay, this is good.
And as soon as you learned that, what did you notice changed in what you were able to create?
Oh my God. First of all, life became fun. The stress came out of me.
Say that one more time.
Yeah. Life became fun. I started enjoying everything. Everything smelled better. Everything tasted better. Everything was funny. And I just let go. But it took a second. I had to, on purpose. And I this sounds crazy, but I would come home and I would take my jacket off and I would leave it there. I'm like, you're going to look at it for a second and it's going to not bother you that you didn't hang it up. It's okay. Because I needed everything to be perfect. So
thank you. I needed to hear that.
So thank you, Spencer, for joining me today at the makeup chair. I had so much fun with you. You were absolutely gorgeous inside and out. And I love spending every single minute with you.
I had such a good time. Thank you. It was an honor and a gift, as it always is, to share any time with you. We have so much fun talking, and I always learn so much about myself, and I see life differently because of you, and I have to say thank you for that. And I'm reminded by you what artistry is all about expression, about exploration, about creative freedom, and about giving your personal touch the voice and the wings that it deserves. So thank you for reminding me of that and giving me a platform to share a little bit about my background in artistry.
Well, we look forward to seeing more, and stay tuned for more from us.